dad spent some time in prison. It opened my eyes about life, about how good people can make mistakes and can be redeemed. It was challenging to see him behind bars when I was growing up. My mom was working at Church's Chicken, and there were times when that's what we would eat. My grandparents were a huge influence. My grandfather worked at Hughes Tools, but he got laid off, and he ultimately opened a welding shop next to the house in the garage. My grandmother cleaned houses. One of the main reasons I wanted to get into college was I wanted something better for my family. I wanted to provide an example for my brothers and sisters. There was a college career day, and there was a gentleman named Ere Elizondo. He worked at the Center for Mexican-American Studies at the University of Houston. That was one of the first times that I actually saw that somebody that looked like me was working in administration. I knew I wanted to stay here locally to help my mother pay the bills. So the university opened a lot of doors for me. As a student undergrad, there was a program called the Texas Legislative Internship Program. It was sponsored by, at the time, State Senator Rodney Ellis, where he brought Black and brown young people and put them in government settings. I interned at City Hall for Councilmember Carol Galloway. And so when I finished my internship, I ended up working for Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee for about a year. And then I ended up working for Congressman Gene Green for about 7 years. I just caught the public service bug and decided to run for the legislature now 14 years ago. I'm serving my 8th term in the legislature, and I actually attended University of Houston Law Center after I got elected. I got sworn in January of 2009, served that session. By the fall of 2009, I was in law school. The Texas legislature is a part-time job. That only pays about $6,000 a year. And so we have to have another job. I'm a solo practicing attorney here locally. You have to balance my court docket with my constituent docket. My family docket is the most important one for me. I met my wife, Debbie, at a happy hour. Started dating about 2 or 3 years after we met. She's an occupational therapist. She's a wonderful person. She has a big heart. We have 2 boys. They both play baseball, select baseball. I'm so very proud of them. They're good boys. So tonight, I just want to thank my wife, my family, my children, the sacrifices that they've made over the years. Obviously want to thank Dr. Couture for her leadership, Chairman Fertitta for his leadership, people like Mr. Cantu, who's on the Board of Regents, but it's also people like Dr. Mendiola, Rebecca Trevino, who was my counselor at the time, Eddie Elizondo, my mother and my grandparents. I was so proud when my grandparents got to see me walk across the stage, let alone once, but twice. I'm proud to represent all of the young alumni, and I'm just so proud to be here and to be recognized for the work that I've done in the legislature and the dollars that I've been able to help steer towards the university. This is our university, and there's no reason why any aspiring young person would have to go somewhere else to get a good education. You have it right here at the University of Houston.